Good evening. Kathy Beatty here with Divorce Support Anonymous. Thank you for joining me tonight. I respect your time. I appreciate that you would take the time to jump in. And my purpose here really is to guide you through the trauma of divorce every step of the way. I am a domestic mediator, a divorce coach, a life coach, also hold support groups, and just try to help people get through this trauma. And tonight, my post regarding this was like, ooh, a little bit freaky, but true. And I have seen so many examples of that, the potential of destroying people in going through this process of divorce, because it can be wicked. And I want to help you to make sure that this does not destroy you or even parts of you as you go through this process. What are you going to become through this experience? You will change as you go through divorce. There is no one that goes through divorce that does not change. It impacts them so profoundly. The question is, how will this change me? How will I make this experience one of growth, although torturous, one of growth, one in which I can move forward and have that post-traumatic growth instead of that post-traumatic distress continually. So there are ways, and they are ways that we must proceed with caution as we go through this process. So it's going to change you. How is it going to change you? That's the question. And that really is up to you and how you face the obstacles that you are dealing with. Of course, I love your comments, your questions. Please feel free. I would love to have conversation with you and be able to answer your questions specifically to where you are and what's going on. As we think about going through this process, I'm reminded of one of my favorite verses in James that says, "Be very careful then on how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil." We can ruin our lives and all that we have worked so hard to establish in a moment, in an experience. When emotions get run away and people do foolish things that haunt them for the rest of their lives because they are so traumatized by the experience of divorce. It happens. It happens more often than I care to know or to realize. We don't want to waste any more years. We want to do this wisely as possible. So what are some of the ways that we can be destroyed? The divorce can destroy us. Anger and bitterness is one. If you remain angry and you hold on to that bitterness and you don't deal with your emotions, that you stuff them down and that you deny them, you're just destroying yourself. You're hurting yourself because all of that poison inside of you comes out in different ways. It comes out in health issues, or it comes out in hurting other people. You bleed all over people that didn't hurt you. So that is one way. Denial of your situation, of where you're at. Denial in many areas, denial in finances. I'm actually working with someone right now who says that this person will go back to counseling, will go to counseling, not go back, go to counseling if the former spouse goes with them. Now, they have been divorced since 2016. So there's a denial going on there, a denial that, first of all, that they could get back together after this length of time and a lot of things have happened, and denial that she needs therapy, that she needs therapy alone, not to restore, not with him. She needs therapy to help her get through a lot of the issues, but she's in denial and she won't do it and she won't go. So, fighting, continuing to fight with your former spouse or bashing your former spouse. Years pass, and some people still remain bashing their former spouse, um, fighting with them, when really only thing that you should be having conversation with is the facts on the children. That's it. That's it. So, and then we can destroy our lives by wanting revenge. Revenge for all of the betrayal or hurt that has been given to us and happened to us. That will destroy your life. You have to be able to let it go. You have to be able to release it and let go, because it will destroy you. And divorce has that potential to destroy you. Another way divorce has potential of destroying you is the self-loathing that some people get to because they are so rejected and distraught over what has happened. And so they start loathing themselves because they feel like they weren't enough, or they just weren't enough, weren't the person that the other person wanted to stay married to, which is such a lie, such a lie. Through all of this, through all of the dealings in divorce, there's a spiritual level, and we cannot deny that. Because yes, we do have an enemy. I honestly believe we do have an enemy that does want to destroy us. And to use this weak time in our life can happen. And we can listen to those voices in our head that are lies, that are not the truth, and they can destroy us. And if you are even close to that point of self-loathing and not accepting and caring for yourself right now, there is the number of suicide hotline, 1-800-273-TALK. Remember that 24/7, reach out to someone if you get to the point to where you are so self-loathing and just against yourself. You need help. Please, please do that. The world needs you. The world needs you, friend. And another way that we can be destroyed, divorce can destroy us, is financial. Financial. So if we're going to continue to fight, and oh my goodness, sadly, I know so many cases, they're going to take the other person back to court. They're going to file the motion. They're going to take them back to court again and again and again to face financial ruin. And like, why? Hasn't enough destruction happened? Hasn't there been enough damage? Of course there has. Of course there has. So we have to safeguard ourselves against these things that can and will destroy us if we are not careful and proactive. How do we do that? Number one, we seek God. We seek God, who cares for us incredibly as we go through this. Seek God, find Him. If you've been hurt by the church, ignore that church. Find another church. Find a place, a therapist, a pastor, someone who can walk you through the experience of knowing God through this difficulty. He is so gentle and so gracious and so compassionate toward us when we are hurting. So number one is seek God. Number two is seek support. Oh, I say it so many times. Don't go through divorce alone. Seek support. You need others to support you, to guide you, to hear your story. See a therapist. Seek a therapist. If you have never been with a therapist or a pastor before, now is the time. You'd be amazed how you can speed up that healing process when you get the support you need, when you see the therapist, when you seek God. All of those together come together to help you heal so that you are not, as one person I was with this week, 30 years after the divorce, still struggling because of what had been pushed down and denied. I don't want that for you. It requires incredible honesty and vulnerability, which is not what you want to feel right now. But it's so critically important that you seek God, that you seek support, that you seek a therapist or a pastor, someone who can hear your story and your heart. And then get those experts, the network of experts that you need to guide you, whether that's financial, spiritual, emotional, legal. Get those experts to get you through this process. So, there are a lot of things that have the potential to destroy us. Getting in the car and driving down the road, there's a lot of potential for us to be hurt, destroyed, maimed. There are so many opportunities that we can be hurt and we can be destroyed. But this is one that you can minimize the damage and you can minimize the destruction by safeguarding your heart, by getting the support you need, by seeing this as a spiritual battle, and just get the help you need. Don't go through it alone. I hope that's of help. I will tell you to leave an encouraging note of how many people I have seen that are surviving and thriving after divorce. I see them on the street and I hardly recognize them because they have done their work, they have dealt with their stuff, they've taken care of their business, and now they're ready to live life again. I want that for you. Please take care of you. Please get the help that you need. This is Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous, guiding you every step of the way through the trauma of divorce.